Hey guys, welcome back to Boha. Today we're going to talk about my 1967 Coronet RT. This is the car I've had the longest. What makes it? We're going to talk about what makes it cool, why I've kept it for so long, and what we did to it during the builds and the different phases. So, first off, it's cool because there's a Hellcat engine swap in it, and I've had this car since 1994. I bought this car when I was 14 years old after going to the Mopar Nationals car show with my dad. We drove his 1967 GTX out to the car show from Minnesota. It was, I don't know, probably 18-hour drive. And after we came back home, I found this car in the Hemmings Motor News for sale for, I think it was listed at $2,200, and we got it, or is that $2,800, and we got it for $2,000 for it was someone my dad knew. It was sitting in a junkyard, and it needed complete restoration, obviously, being that cheap. And I saved up half of it. My dad gave me the other half I needed to buy it, and we went and picked it up. And then I worked on it. Me and my friends kind of worked on it all throughout high school. And just by the end of high school, probably when I was like 17, 18, we had it pretty much done. It was running. The first build was like a street strip build. It had a big built 440 with maybe about 500 horsepower. Hardly any vacuum for the brakes, barely idled, got about 4 miles a gallon. It was super loud, super fun. I remember the first time I drove around the block, it had 3-inch Flowmasters on it, full 3-inch back exhaust, and the neighbor had called the police, and he was sitting in my driveway waiting for me when I got back because it was too loud. So yeah, Flowmaster 40 series sounded pretty much like open headers, and this thing, it was an animal. And then it sat when I went to college. It sat when I first moved to Colorado. I didn't have a garage or anything, and it wasn't like something that was very easily drivable anyways. So it sat for a long time, and then my dad finally brought it out to me in one of his trips out to visit, and I decided to put a Hellcat in it and make it more of a pro touring resto mod car instead of a street and strip car. So we put in a Hellcat engine, we put in the 8-speed automatic transmission, and all the other goodies that go with that. So that really transformed it into a car that you can drive out here. Obviously, it's way hotter here too, so we put in vintage air and a whole bunch of other stuff that I'll walk you through, showing you kind of in detail. But when we first got it, it was definitely a huge project. And my dad actually has a 67 GTX, which is the sister car to this, and we have them painted the same color. So we had a father-son kind of thing going when his is all stock and mine is modified. So we had a lot of fun with that growing up. But that's one of the reasons why I would never sell this car, because it was the first car I ever purchased, and it was a father-son restoration, and kind of a matching father-son pair that we have to this day still. So it's really cool. It has a lot of meaning to our family, and it actually runs and drives awesome now with the Hellcat and all these other upgrades I did to it. So let me show you some of the cool parts, cool features, and cool mods about this car. First off, I'm going to try to show you guys these pictures of when I bought it. That's kind of crappy because I'm just taking a photo, but this is where it was sitting in a junkyard when we bought it in 1994. The first iteration, I was going to paint it, its factory color is this dark green, and I did spray the engine bay that color before I changed my mind and decided to copy my dad's color. But the interior, we fully stripped that down, wire brushed everything down to bare metal, recoated, sealed everything. Redid the dash, obviously. Had full paint work done on it. Here's some pictures of the body shop. Here's the first day I drove it home from the body shop. Backing it back into my little garage to start putting it all back together. Yeah, and this is when we got it together. So that's my dad's GTX on the right and my car on the left. So that's pretty awesome. Here's some of the pictures of the old motor before we rebuilt it that it came with. This actually here, it came with a 400 in it, an unoriginal 400. And I found a 467 440 that I rebuilt for it originally. So I used to have 3-inch exhaust on it when I had it built the first time, but I couldn't find anybody in Colorado to custom make me 3-inch exhaust, so now it has 2.5-inch on it only. But yeah, you can see the color. It's poly mauve, metallic, purple. This car has a black vinyl top on it. I got one NOS RT67 emblem. These are super hard to find. I've been trying to find a second one of these for like 20 years. So if you have one or know of one, I will buy it. I do not want the reproduction one or the one for a 68 because it's different color red. But if you have a 67 one, let me know, I'd buy it. Tires, wheels, axle. I got these American Racing rims that kind of looked, I thought, more like a 60s style. I got disc brakes on the back. It's like I'm missing a lug nut. The rear disc brakes are from a 2003 Cobra Mustang. And I use a Dr. Diff kit to hook it up to that. If you look under here, we got a Tanks Inc. EFI gas tank with the Hellcat pump in there. We got, let's see if we can see anything else down here. Bilstein shocks, Caltrac suspension bars, which do a huge help, and a big rear sway bar. Oh. Now the front brakes are off a Gen 3 Dodge Viper with big 14-inch discs. So those are pretty beefy, pretty awesome. I got all new Hella headlights for it, and then the one headlight we took out and we're using that for an air intake for the supercharger. But yeah, this car is a animal. I mean, at 65, 70 miles an hour, you can just floor it and it goes sideways. So, huge sleeper, fastest car I've ever been in, and I've been in a lot. This paint I had done when I was 14 or 15 years old, back in 1994 or 95, and it still looks pretty presentable. So thank you to Bill Hodge for the paint job. Let me show you guys under the hood here where all the magic is. It's hard to do this one-handed. Alright, so I use as much of the factory Mopar parts for the swap as we could, meaning the fan, intercooler, radiator, condenser, the hard lines, hoses, whatever we could keep factory we did. Then we used the Hellcat, Mopar Hellcat wiring harness and ECU and fuel pedal. The guys at NVS Fab put this in and did all the custom fitting. You can see all the cool aftermarket brackets they made and painted to match, like the brackets for the standoff here, this cool bracket here for the expansion tank, all the stuff that they made. This bracket here for the hoses. All the catch can bracket for the air cleaner. All looks really like it could be factory. So it's all pretty awesome. We added this Hydro Boost kit, and I can't remember which. I tried like 3 master cylinders to get the right one here. So between 7/8, 1 inch, 1 1/8. I think I tried all of the standard ones to see what I thought felt best. So I can't remember which one I ended up keeping on there. Did the Borgeson steering box, which is a nice upgrade. And with that, we also did everything I could do to the front suspension, which meant like strut bars, big sway bar, Bilstein shocks, welded LCA, lower control arms welded up. Just pretty much anything you can do to that front suspension and keeping the original K-frame, which I wanted to do. We did. We actually had to beef up the K-frame and notch it for the oil pan a little bit too. But I've had this thing built for I think about 2 years now, and there's been no issues. One thing we had to do here in the back was put a Dodge Dakota wiper motor on there to fit, because the stock wiper motor wouldn't fit unless you switch to a 1-speed, and I didn't want to have a single speed, so that was a good upgrade the guys found out for me. Well, yeah, looks like it fits in there perfectly, huh? Custom Hellnet floor mats, a little bit dirty. This car originally was black inside. I switched the interior color to white way back when I was a kid, just because I don't like the heat, and I thought that would make it cooler inside, which, you know, it does. So inside we got custom Dakota Digital gauges, vintage air. I had to make this custom center console to fit the shifter for the 8-speed. We added power door locks, power windows, which are the pretty cool ones. All you do is tap the this little knob here. The car's not on. Tap the little knob. Windows go down. Windows go up. Put in our radio delete plate up here, because I got the radio down in this cubby now. What else do we do inside here? It's a buddy seat car, which is kind of a rare thing, and it's really nice to have that, I think. There's the Hellcat pedal down there. We have these purple lights on the bottom and on the side of the car. I can turn off right here. I have a popper there for the trunk, unless that's one down there. We added a trunk pop. We carved in Hellnet in the dash right here. So it's a little bit dirty right now because it's been sitting in the shop for a bit. I haven't driven it yet this season, so I need to give it an oil change before I drive it and fix this rear tire because it keeps losing the pressure. It's got a bad bead. So we moved both batteries to the trunk. It says Hellnet in there, obviously. And I have a disconnect here for this side, and I got a battery and disconnect on this side. So one side kind of works the radio and the accessories, so I can have it at a car show, have the radio on, the lights on, and not worry about draining it so I can't start it. But yeah, this is it. This is my 1967 Coronet RT Hellcat with the 8-speed transmission. I got 323 gears in here right now. Probably could have done a little bit lighter, like 300s or 276s, but that's what I could find at the time. But yeah, this is a pretty awesome car. I haven't took the kids out in it yet, but I will be soon. So follow the channel, like, comment if you have any questions on the build. We did a lot of R&D work and problem solving and get this far on it. So give me a comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you want to see some more videos of this thing. It's an animal, that's for sure. I'm going to add a few clips here of it running and starting, maybe a couple burnouts, and idle videos, just so you can kind of hear what it sounds like, 'cause it's pretty neat. So hopefully you guys like these, and if you like them, let me know and I'll get some more. I want to hear the front here.